And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're always back.
We're always back. Yeah,
we're back at Dinosaur's Tale.
What is that? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The not Don Bluth movie, but it was made by people who are alumni of Don Bluth's stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me of Don Bluth's
Land Before Time.
That's right. Okay.
Last thing the Fievel movies, American Tail and Fievel Goes West. Last movie he ever directed was Titan A.E.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he took us higher.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The Creed song. The Creed song.
Oh, poor Scott Stapp. The Obama CIA was after him, or
the government.
And then he was homeless,
and now he's getting a reality show.
No.
Yeah.
This man has mental illness. The worst thing for him is to demand for him to run a reality show.
Yeah, I mean,
don't do that to a person. Haven't we learned anything from Depression Quest?
Speaking of Depression Quest, it's time for what part is it? Part 3?
I guess this would be part 3. Part 3 and on of our adventure through Depression Quest. Once again, I am Aaron.
I am not Aaron. I'm Jerry this time.
Who are you?
Who will I be next time? Let's find out.
Actually, because we were thinking about all of our failures and what a terrible person we were, and we were going to go on the computer.
Yeah, we were going to go on the computer at like 2 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We have work in the morning. It sounded like a really great scenario that I've been a part of many times.
Yeah, many a time. Oh, also, I especially remember the times when I've been in this scenario when I had some assignment due the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was much of college for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was college. That was grad school for me. That was my thesis.
I was not a very good student when it came to like doing shit on time or in a timely fashion.
Listen, nobody is in college. You want to get good at college. You vie for a professor's sympathy and get them to understand. It's like, oh yeah, this is really fucking hard to manage. It's like
I'm working several jobs at once, and most of them are all these fucking classes.
Yes.
Then expect for me to like read tomes between now and next week and write. You
knew that professor that one at our alma mater that would assign like seven novels in a semester.
7 novels in a semester.
This isn't a what's the word I'm looking for? An exaggeration. We got assigned like what makes Sammy run, The Love of the Last Tycoon, Of Human Bondage, The Red and the Black, and several other works to read in their entirety in one semester.
Yeah, that was gruel. That was a gruel.
And look up The Red and the Black and Of Human Bondage, because those are both Bildungsromans, so they're fucking thick.
Tome ass books, and there was him, and then there was the other guy.
Oh yeah, who
was like that was like a grad school level course, at some point I took 2 of his classes.
Yeah,
and at least one of them was like
one professor was the Great White, and he was the one that had all the novels, and the other one was Megalodon, and it wasn't novels, but it was just shit tons of scholarly articles. I came to know, love, and hate all at the same time Susan Sontag through this class. I thank God I was also taking a women's studies class in the same semester, because it was like, oh, here's some more Susan Sontag without me wanting to kill myself.
Oh, hey. You got to see 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and then I saw something about Susan Sontag on TV where she had like a badass quote at I think a commencement address where she was just like, "Don't take shit, tell the bastards off." I'm like, if I ever gave a commencement address, that's how I would want to end it.
And my commencement address would just be like 4 words long. I just walk up on stage and say, "Don't be a bitch.
Don't be bullshit.
Don't be bullshit."
I'm gonna start us off with some mood music as we dive back into this Zoe Quinn ass adventure through the psyche.
ZQ.
Last time around we were going with Boren and Der Club of Gore.
Whoa.
That was a Sunset Mission. This is Boren and Der Club of Gore, Midnight Radio. I feel like these are both their more recent albums. I'm not a big Club of Gore dude. I just... if I hear it, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool.
This is the German jazz chap?
The German ambient jazz band. I assume they're German. Because like, why? If you're gonna do an ambient jazz band, why would you name yourself a German-ass name unless you were yourself German?
I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's a reasonable line of logic.
Yeah, unless someone's like, oh man, I really want our music to sound like, you know, you're walking around in a noir film set in usually Los Angeles or New York or...
I'm going to just name everything I do German.
Just a ridiculous German name.
This podcast is getting rebranded with
Dank
a German.
Ass Stubbs.
Das Stubbs.
Das Stubbs Danken Arsch.
That sounded legit.
Yeah.
That was not
Das
bad.
Stubbs Danken Arsch. I have no idea if this is... I did not take German.
What does that actually mean? I feel like that probably means something.
What? Das Stubbs Danken Arsch?
Well, because it sounds like...
I know Arsch is at least close enough to the German word for ass.
Yeah, it was like... That almost sounded like... The Stubbs thank you ass. Was what that sort of...
Oh yeah, dank, yeah.
Danke.
I assume dank is not a cognate in German.
Yeah.
So this is.
I mean, I'm sure there's a cave somewhere they had to describe.
So this is Boren and your Club of Gore Midnight Radio.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that radio's so midnight.
So, jump back in, picking up
It's late.
after we left off.
Just to explain away that yawn. I'm not trying to be rude to you, the viewers, the listeners.
You could try way harder to be rude if you want to be rude.
Well, yeah, I mean, rudeness doesn't take effort, but it does right now because I don't feel like being rude.
It's 2 a.m. on a Sunday, and you have work in the morning.
Oh, just like we said.
Yeah. You roll over to see the sickly green glow of the time displayed on your LED alarm clock and let out an exasperated sigh. You've been trying to fall asleep for over 3 hours now to no avail. Every time your head hits the pillow, you're overcome with anxious thoughts that wrap themselves around each other. Worries about your job lead to worries about your future, lead to worries about your very identity, and you're unable to shake them off long enough to doze off.
Oof.
Your eyes won't even stay shut as your mind races through imagined scenarios going horribly wrong, which you promptly attribute to your general worthlessness. Your thoughts run too fast for you to come to a satisfying conclusion on any one of them. Your room is completely silent, but the silence has given way to a loud static noise rattling around inside your head. Your heart beats loudly, and you worry it's beating a little too fast. You worry that if you focus too strongly on your racing heart, you'll freak yourself out hard enough that you have a heart attack. You have to be awake for work in a mere 8 hours, and you know that your work is so much worse on only a few hours sleep. What do? The only option...
Not 5 out of 6 options.
The only option, number 6, go to your computer. Sleep is clearly not happening no matter how long you lay here. You are depressed, interaction is exhausting, and you are becoming more and more withdrawn. You are seeing a therapist even though you doubt anything she says could make you feel better. You are not currently taking medication for depression.
I think that these other options, I think we noted this last time. These other options are starting to get a lot more bitey and negative.
Yeah, these options
There's
got
a lot
more
of fuck.
These options got more frenetic as you went down the roster.
All right, so we went to the computer. What? Hugs Boson. You get out of bed and head to your desk. Laying in bed with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company makes you feel like you're going insane. The harshness of the light coming from the screen makes you squint as you turn it on, despite how often you find yourself in this exact situation. There have been so many nights lately just like this. As you begin reading a news story, an online friend of yours IMs you.
Attic, you're up late again, I see.
Yeah, can't sleep again.
Thinking too much again? And it corrects the word thinking because it comes out misspelled.
You guessed it, sad face.
Want to talk about it?
You end up talking with Attic for quite some time about how you've been feeling. He's always been easy to talk to about personal matters, and the added security of talking online helps. Being able to rethink what you say as you type it out and check it before you send it helps you gather your thoughts, and you find it less intimidating in a way to type it all into a prompt and say it out loud.
Attic, I don't want to be that guy who thinks they can diagnose something because I read a Wikipedia article, but it kind of sounds like you might have depression. You should talk to someone about that, like a doctor.
You pause. Are you really that transparent? Or is it that you've gotten used to talking about your feelings at this point? Your insomnia makes you a little paranoid, but you shake it off.
We can do some research and see if there's a good doctor near you. It's not like you're going back to sleep anytime soon anyway. Might as well do something while you're awake. Happy face. Option 1 is crossed out. It's you. This is just a low night. I am normally able to sleep and I don't have depression, but thank you for your concern.
2, you reply, no, that's okay. Or 3, you reply, actually, I have talked to someone about it. I would go with 3.
I would go with 3 too.
At that point.
Let's see. You are very depressed. You spend a large amount of time sleeping, hating yourself, and have very little energy or motivation. You spend some time on a therapist's couch. You're having difficulty finding the motivation to continue going to your sessions. You are not currently taking medication for depression. So 3.
Boom.
Yeah. Fuck you, addict. We already gone to the therapist.
Addict.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you're taking that step. I've heard it's not an easy one. I know people kind of suck at understanding this sort of stuff sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with having depression. You wouldn't be ashamed to have bronchitis or something. So there's no reason to be ashamed if it's your brain that's sick instead.
Oh man, what an understanding guy Addict is.
What an understanding guy in a very rote and generic way.
What a stand-up guy Attic must be. What a weird name. You spend a few more minutes talking with Attic about your therapy and your feelings about it. He's incredibly supportive, and you're happy to find that you have a confidant that understands your illness and is willing to lend an ear when you're having nights like this. Why is Attic up so late?
Attic's an online friend. Chances are Attic is somebody that has like a weird job or
lives in Germany.
A
little while later.
Attic is probably a German guy's name.
He's in this band.
Yeah. Attic from Bora Ninja Club of Gore. He's my favorite guy. He plays the slow sax.
The slow sax.
It's a sax just filled with gel, so all the notes come out really slowly.
Oh, I can hear it, and it sounds kind of wet. A little while later, you fall back into bed, kitten in tow, and find it easier to drift off to sleep. Even in therapy, you know you're still going to have nights like these sometimes. It's good to know that you have a friend who will help carry you through them.
All the
I read this wrong. I thought you said, you're depressed, you have an intern. It's like, where are we getting an intern? Is he helping us with our depression?
How are we giving him college credit?
Boss, I strewn all your papers around so that you couldn't get anything organized like you asked me to. So I guess we just go to the next page.
Yeah. It's a chilly Thursday night, and you've just gotten off work.
Oh, shit.
This felt like one of the longest days you've faced in recent memory. Even though nothing exceptional had happened, a ton of minor things kept going wrong, and coworkers had tried your patience throughout the day. You considered leaving work early, but the last thing you want to do was deal with your insufferable boss on top of everything else. You're lost in thought on the commute home, and your feelings of frustration both with your life and the world around you build as you run into minor annoyances like someone bumping into you really hard as they walk by. By the time you get home, you're exhausted, and remember that these feelings were ones you identified as a negative feedback loop with your therapist. These pent-up feelings aren't dying down and are eating at you. You open your front door and stare at your apartment. An overwhelming feeling of exhaustion overcomes you, and you feel like your energy levels are low enough that you'll likely settle into a single activity tonight. What do you do?
Well, we're not going to shake off our bad mood and do something fun for the rest of the evening, but we could potentially
reach out to someone close to you.
Or don't burden anyone with your problems. Distract yourself. I've done both. More of the time I reach for 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 is quote-unquote the healthiest option, supposedly.
If we're trying to beat the game.
In real life, you get a lot of instances where the person you're reaching out to just isn't available. Or, you know, worse. And 3, it's like, I know distracting yourself. I know I've reached for 3 a lot of the time, especially when I was younger. When I was a lot younger, especially when I was single, just naturally, because it's like you're out of when you are not in a relationship, it's just like that much more out of your way to find somebody to reach out to, because it's like when you're in a relationship, I mean, if it's a good one, you have an automatic response for, oh, I'm having a really tough time, who's the first person I can rely on? Just because you get that continuous intimacy with them. Contintimacy. I would say number 2, because as far as I remember, number 3 would never make you feel better. It would just kind of make time pass.
Yeah, that's probably the wiser decision.
So number 2, reach out to someone close to you.
Your head feels too noisy, and you need to trade it for some actual conversation. Your therapist did say that that it was important to reach out to your support network. Sorry, I'm reading in an angle. Your therapist did say that it was important to reach out to your support network, so you might as well give it a shot. Who do you call?
Ghostbusters!
God damn it. I was going to say Ghostbusters. It was my joke.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're not allowed to think of Ghostbusters.
We're not allowed to think the same things.
We're not allowed to think the thing that everyone was going to think.
Your coworker Sam, he's friendly enough and could be a good distraction. That is crossed the F'd out.
Dude, Sam's a cool guy. Yeah. We could call Mom. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, Mom is bad.
She unconditionally loves you, even if she doesn't always understand you.
I don't know. No, Mom. I'm going to ixnay Mom right now.
Probably not.
If we had a cool mom, hell yeah, we don't have a cool mom.
Not in this game, we don't.
Yeah.
Like, she means maybe, but nah.
Yeah.
We could call Alex, because she's your girlfriend.
Number 4, Malcolm. He's family and fun to talk to.
Is Malcolm our brother who's doing much better than we are?
Yeah, Malcolm is our brother who's doing way better than us.
Oh, shit. I don't know, maybe Alex is the best one because at least we're reaching out.
Yeah, I was feeling the same thing.
Being proactive.
Mom doesn't get it. Malcolm is just going to kind of make us feel down and shitty about ourselves. Probably.
And we might feel... We feel strained with Alex, but perhaps, she'll be sympathetic in this scenario.
I mean, does Alex even know we're going to a therapist? Does Alex even know that we've been diagnosed?
I don't know. We haven't checked in on her in a while.
Yeah, for our girlfriend, we haven't talked to her in a while. Granted, we don't, cohabitate, but Jesus.
Yeah, well, maybe this will be the time.
How long have we been dating, Alex?
20 pages now.
Exactly, right? It's like how... It doesn't say...
I forget if it established. I mean, we'd already had a lot of established routines, I think. So we've gotten in some steady time.
But it's also we're working and living on our own. Alex is going to school, so that's makes things we have different lifestyle patterns.
Okay.
So it's it's not at that point of the relationship where it's just your answer to, oh, what am I doing tonight? It's is always go over to each other's place.
Mm-hmm.
It's it seems like you spend a lot of nights separate from each other. Or we do.
Man.
Yeah. So it's not you're not doing that thing where it's we don't live in the same place, but we're going to kind of just sort of bridge that gap all the time.
Yeah. We'll find, we'll see each other most days.
It's hard to assess how long we've been with Alex and if it's been long enough to... I need a cigarette, especially with this music.
I know. If
I don't smoke.
Wasn't so bad for you, I would totally smoke.
We should vape. Let's get vapes.
Yeah.
Let's be vape daddies.
Don't they make vape juice that's not nicotined at all, so that you can have all the pleasures of inhaling some kind of flavored mist without any of the addictive repercussions?
That actually sounds super enticing. It's dumb, but it's
yeah.
Listen,
I just want one that looks like a cigarette, so I can live out that fantasy
of being a cool cigarette man.
Yeah, in a safe and controlled environment.
Yeah. The worst thing that happens is you get popcorn lung.
Popcorn lung?
Yeah, there's a specific lung disease that happens with workers in the factories that make microwave popcorn because of something that's added to the popcorn, and that same something is added to vape juice. So there's a suspicion that maybe too much vaping at some point far down the line with consecutive vapes could give you the same condition.
That's what is popcorn lung? Is it deadly?
Yeah, it's not good for you.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That sounds sad.
It sucks. It's like people love to inhale smoky things. I don't know what it is. People love to breathe things other than air, but apparently it's not okay for your body, no matter what your methodology is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's... Yeah. You know, and vapes kind of freak me out because, like... Especially the dudes with, like, the space vapes that look like the fist of a robot. Like,
with the giant block book thing?
Yeah, where it's like a handful and it's got these, like, various tubes and attaches and stuff like that. And then, like,
basically,
you know,
all
I'll
those...
see these dudes inhale and, like, the amount of vapor that comes back out is just like, how much lung juice do you have? Like you've been exhaling this thing for like 95 seconds. Like there's too much off that drag. It just becomes kind
My understanding from the people I know who do vape is like a lot of those buttons are just to adjust the temperature and the thickness of the smoke and things like that.
The smoke is so thick though, like it's because the real cigarette it's like there's smoke, but there's not that much smoke.
Yeah. It's not
like these dudes who vape, they're like, it just keeps coming,
this
man.
gaseous gel. So,
oh shit, we're gonna dial Alex.
You dial Alex, who picks up after only 2 rings.
Okay.
You ask if she has time to talk, and she tells you she's just hanging around in her PJs and is actually somewhat bored for once due to being caught up on her coursework. You try to figure out where to start with how you're feeling and are overcome with missing her face. Just her face.
I don't miss any other part of you. If you could be like Zordon, just in a tube.
You ask if she feels like grabbing some dinner, and you notice her barely contain surprise and delight on the other end of the line. Oh, somebody's happy to see us.
Oh,
holy shit! I feel good now.
Hey, man, we probably haven't seen her in a while. That's why.
Yeah,
it's been like 10 pages since we've spoken.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Go out, get dinner.
We've been bouncing around days, so maybe there's been some elliptical visits with Alex that just didn't register talking about.
Yeah.
You meet about half an hour later at an inexpensive diner not far from your apartment. While the food is not great, you're surprised by how much your mood seems to have elevated just being in her company. While at first you were extremely hesitant to talk about your job situation for fear of being burdensome or sounding like a whiner, you see her listening intently to you with what even to you seems to be genuine concern. After winding down with a beer, you cautiously open up a little bit more about your feelings surrounding your job and how drained it leaves you feeling. How you feel like you're simply existing, selling days of your life for no real purpose. You surprise even yourself when you start talking about how frustrated and stymied you feel by your job, about how you used to feel passionately about things but feel like all your energy and capacity for creativity is getting leached out of you each and every workday. You can't remember how long it's been since you've externalized this much raw emotion. I have
emotional sushi bar.
I have had these thoughts and these feelings, and I have I've been in the Alex of these conversations.
Yeah,
like not quite word for word, but damn close, man.
Yeah, I'm sitting here as we're reading through this, and I'm like, man, this is all really hitting home, you know.
Yeah, it's
and now
this
I'm
is
surprised
so our lives
that people have made videos about this in an asshole-ish way. I'm
yeah,
like, are you inhuman? Like, this is
I mean,
or you just have never been depressed in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, they probably are extremely depressed because chances are they're all. I mean, I hate to say it, I don't think anybody's going to talk shit about this game unless they're a gamer-gator.
Yeah, probably.
Because, I mean, we didn't get into the...
You got to be detached from some sort of empathy.
We didn't get into the politics of it, but, this game is by Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn was the girl whose abusive, shitty ex, Aaron Gioni or whatever, however you say his name, he tailored a big blog post on 4chan saying that Zoe Quinn apparently slept her way into getting a review on some website by some journalist of this game, which never existed. Nobody on the website in question ever reviewed the game. Mm-hmm. And so out of that spurred Gamergate.
I didn't know that was where that came from.
Yeah, this is the game that started Gamergate, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The game about feelings.
Oh, all right. Woo!
So back to dinner.
So much faith in humanity.
Back to dinner with Alex.
Yeah, no, we're gonna. What's next? We're gonna spend some hours.
The two of you spent several hours in that diner booth, long after your half-eaten food was cleared and the waitress stopped refilling your coffee cups. Wow, we're being super rude. We're being super rude. Hashtag Quinspiracy. Hashtag Gamergate. Hashtag Not Your Shield.
Quinspiracy, not your shield. What's that?
Oh.
No, the footnotes of this podcast.
This is going to become infinite jest with how many detours we have to take to talk about
infinite stubs.
Infinite stubs.
Infinite dank.
The end of the dank.
The end of the dank.
Which of us is DFW and which of us is the other David?
You're probably DFW.
Why? I don't wear a bandana.
No, I don't either, though. I don't know. I
mean,
like,
I'm not a normal guy. You're a normal guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like you probably have a bit more intelligence, reading, and insight under your belt. So, like, I'm always trying to scrape up to a certain level of informed and insightfulness. You know, so I feel like I would be the David Lipsky in this iteration. You know.
Nah, dude.
DFW.
Nah, dude.
Really? I don't think I'm particularly like Foster Wallacey.
Well, neither am I. Very few people are Foster Wallacey. But thank God neither of us are Jonathan Franzen.
His name got dropped in that movie at some point, I think.
As you get up to leave, a sudden wave of self-consciousness washes over you, and you suddenly feel incredibly awkward. Then Alex stands up and grabs you tightly around your waist. Oh, damn. We're gonna fuck.
In this
diner. We're gonna have sad sex in the diner.
Oh.
You realize that short of boring her with your seemingly endless rants, she's simply happy to have gotten a chance to spend real time, with you.
And Bill Maher.
I was gonna say, it's been by all accounts incredibly too long since you've allowed yourself to open up to them like this. Isn't Alex a girl? Why is Alex a them now?
She has become two people.
And there's an almost palpable feeling of closeness you allow yourself to hold on to as you go to bed that night.
Oh shit! Next. It's an utterly
Whoa, yo.
Take it in the mouth daily.
First off, this page is interesting. Picture of a pill bottle at the top in the Polaroids. Mm-hmm. Every page has got Polaroids of, an object that's relevant to the scene. So we're starting off with pills. So I think we're going on meds.
We're getting meds.
We going on meds, motherfucker.
Do.
Second.
All
4 options. All options available.
Are blue.
All options are blue. I think things are about to turn around.
We might win the game.
We might beat this.
We might conquer depression.
We're gonna beat depression.
And
the pills are gonna power us up.
Yeah. And then we'll be able to replay the game with like some special bandana that makes us not depressed.
Yeah. And then we can play the DLC where we have to deal with the side effects.
Yeah. Replay the game, but with infinite therapy sessions.
We have infinite therapy money.
Yeah.
No.
It's like weird little cheats.
No, I swear to God, there should be like Depression Quest 2 where you have to deal with the fucking side effects of your meds, and then it's like, oh no, this med doesn't work, and then you have to change meds. It's like, oh no, I'm getting withdrawals from the first meds.
This one's making you too hyper, and this one's making you too slow.
And the meds that the therapist gives you don't do anything at all.
It's Dr. Mario. Which is just medical Tetris.
Yeah.
It's an utterly nondescript Wednesday afternoon, the type of afternoon that would completely fade from memory unless one made an active effort to preserve it. As has become routine on Wednesdays, you are sitting on the couch in Dr. Melville's office. To your mild surprise, she begins this session by breaking her characteristic therapist silence and begins speaking up right away.
That was something that I always thought was weird. Like, why do therapy sessions always start with the therapist being like, what's going on? And then just being quiet and letting you dish.
because that's the preliminaries. It's like, let's see, what's today gonna be like? Do they have a lot to offer, or am I gonna have to start pulling and pressing buttons and I wanted to start by saying I think it's great that you decided to come see me.
Is that your Dr. Melville voice?
I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to sort of smooth it out. I can't because I don't. I've been watching more comedies lately where dudes play women. Like Key and Peele sketches, or I was watching episodes of The State, and because I think there's only one woman in their troupe, there were always multiple dudes.
Fucking Carrie. She was so good in that show.
Yeah, she was great on that show. In fact, I want to go back and revisit Reno 911 now that I'm older and can probably enjoy it more. Enjoy it harder. And I didn't even realize that, what's his name, Junior or whatever, is Ben Garant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I never registered what exactly he looked like.
Without the mustache and the sunglasses.
Yeah, because I always just associated him with writing. I wanted to start by saying She Begins. I wanted to take some time today to talk to you about the possibility of supplementing or substituting your treatment with medication. The mention of medication makes your ears perk up and you feel your heart rate increasing, she continues.
Many people find adding a pharmacological element to their treatment to be very helpful. And some even prefer to take drugs, completely eliminating their need to visit a therapist at all.
My Dr. Melville isn't as good as
your
yours.
Your Dr. Melville... is this but I don't know, you sound like some old British dude on a dock. You sound like a guy who would be in Moby Dick.
All right, you do your...
Oh no, I was enjoying that.
Really?
I like the Dr. Melville as a split person.
To take drugs, completely eliminating their need to visit a therapist at all, providing you rely on your support network and us still reaching out to people. I would prefer it if we kept talking should you choose to start medication so that I can monitor your progress and adjust as needed. But the choice is ultimately yours. I just wanted to run the option by you to gauge what your thoughts on the matter might be.
Number 1.
Accept a prescription as a way to augment your therapy.
Number 2.
Tell her you like to try drugs instead of therapy. These weekly sessions have always made you more than a little uncomfortable.
Number 3.
The thought of messing with your brain chemicals makes you uneasy. You'll stick with the therapy.
4.
This whole therapy thing has always overwhelmed you, and this is the final straw. You're done with both.
Oh boy.
Therapy feels like it's helping a little bit here and there, maybe. So, double up.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the most sensible. It's just let's see how this goes, and we'll add. I'm not super gung ho about meds, but they can be helpful. So.
Yeah.
And then it's the experiment. Everybody in this position probably, if it gets to that point where someone's recommending you try it, I think it's always worth the experiment.
Yeah, and it'd be so fucking terrible if this was a game that was after a while, there's a plot point in the game where it turns out your therapist actually isn't working for you.
Oh, boy.
It's sucks to be you. Turns out... Or it's yeah, you're on the meds. Turns out meds don't work for you. These ones give you horrible side effects.
Well, that could be. I mean, because that seems... Just from basic experience even. There are different kinds of medications with different active ingredients, and some of them are supposed to they're all sort of different, so...
Whereas therapy, it's for the most part, everyone goes to the same schooling.
Yeah, there's an accepted idea, and there's, techniques and things.
So number 1?
I'm down with numero uno.
You think the matter over. I think that recently none of this sort of thing was even on your radar, and here you are now being asked to make a decision about it. You're both skeptical and nervous, still getting over the initial shock of even just talking to a therapist. Still, over the years, you've done enough entry-level reading on the subject to know that if it doesn't help, at least it probably won't hurt, right? After an intense and protracted pill, that you'd like to try medication in addition to your therapy, and you spend about half an hour going over what you'll be taking and what you should expect from it. Thinking back on the decision later, You're pretty sure you had your fist tightly clenched the whole way through.
Oh shit. And number 3 has changed. You've started taking medication. You're hoping that it will work, but you aren't optimistic and are worried about the side effects.
Otherwise,
Starring
status
Jude
is
Law.
the same. Just
Oh yeah, the whole thing about having to go to somebody else and like tell them a whole bunch of stuff. And
yeah. It would fucking suck. It was like, all right, now you have to go on a mission to find a psychiatrist that is taking new patients. It's available.
Which is hard.
Canada. And in Canada, everything medical works.
Yeah. We don't have to worry. Oh man, a friend of mine just had that happen.
What?
Needed some help with some stuff, started going to therapy. 2 weeks in, they're like, hey, my friend's work was like, hey, we're going to switch your network.
Oh.
It was like, fucking A. Like, so now they're starting over.
With a totally new person?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the mental health and wellness struggle in these United States is real.
Yeah.
Just throwing.
This isn't
that.
one of those bullshit struggles about, like, you can't make a DiGiorno pizza.
We're visiting our parents.
Oh, no.
Mom doesn't understand but means well.
It's a Wednesday evening, and you're visiting at your parents' house for a holiday. It's one of the handful of times during the year you drive out to visit your old hometown, and you've seen random people you had gone to school with around town. Whenever bumping into them, the usual short versions of what you've done since graduating are exchanged. You've gone through a few of these today, and have been very aware of how much you feel you haven't accomplished.
And at this point in the game, like, you're kind of wandering around town, caught in an indie movie, just being like, things just aren't the same.
You're wearing a pea coat. It's snowing.
And
Your
like one
hair
of
is
those,
tousled.
one of those like stumpy hats with the little tie thing on the front.
Hat?
Yeah, and you're
Oh,
just sort of
God.
wandering around to acoustic guitar music and.
I wonder how many indie movies in which someone wears a hat like that are a direct like reference to Holden Caulfield. Because I hope it's not many.
It's probably more than you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's probably not all of them, but more than you want it to be.
If you want to reference Holden Caulfield, just have a dude shoot a president.
Think of it.
It was alright.
Alright. Because, like, I don't know, people lose their shit over that book, and then other people hate that book, and I have yet to read that book, but it's a very divisive book.
I read it when I was like, I want to say 18 or 19, so I was a bit older than Holden Caulfield by like just a smidge.
Oh, okay.
So to do was like, I remember the sense of like wanting to reach through the pages and grab the kid and be like, I get it. Yes, I understand. I get it. But you got to get through this. Yes, I get it. It sucks. Everything is bad. It's all terrible. I understand. But you got to go through this.
You gotta play the game a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, man. How long is that book?
Catcher in the Rye. It's a short read for me. I know some people will be like, "Oh, I can't stand Catcher in the Rye. It's just this kid whining and I don't get that because it's just like, you know, yeah, this is very clearly an angry kid, but we've all kind of been that angry kid at some point.
Hey, man, that's what puberty is all about.
Yeah,
Being an angry kid and nobody understanding, and fuck you, Mom.
you understand my depression quest. You've gone through a few of these today and have been very aware of how much you feel like you haven't accomplished. When you were in high school, you had much larger plans, and you feel like you've failed to manifest most of them. Even if you had managed to, you've largely lost interest in what you thought you wanted to do growing up. Now you're not really sure what you want to do, and you felt like you're lacking the ambition or drive to figure it out.
But it's definitely not an astronaut anymore.
Yeah. Or you can't be an astronaut or a policeman or a fireman anymore.
Desk jockey. Everyone you caught up with
seems so much happier than you, like they've got their lives all figured out, and you've kind of been feeling like a failure by comparison. Your brother down to dinner. He's been traveling for his job lately, and you haven't seen him since the day he picked you up from the dentist. Your parents haven't seen him since before then. During dinner, they all catch up, and Malcolm talks about the amazing things he's done on the road. Your mother turns to you and asks, Nothing really new going on. Your mother makes the face. Oh, nothing new? How long are you planning on staying at that job of yours? What do you say?
Well, you don't tell them about the exciting new job you're gunning for, because that's not an option.
2, lie. Tell them what they want to hear, that you're actively looking for a more prestigious position.
3, admit that you don't know what you want to do.
Or 4, excuse yourself to the bathroom.
Dude, that's like an immediate thing you could do.
Yeah.
So everybody's got business to do in the bathroom.
How long are you planning on staying at that job of yours? Yo, moms, I got a shit.
Man, Mom, I gotta shoot right now. It's a full-time job. I gotta think about it at least twice a day. If I'm home.
It takes all the willpower I can muster to not shit all over your dinette set, Ma.
You don't want shit on your dinette set. It was expensive. It was a gift from Grandma, who also means well but doesn't understand you.
God.
Ooh. That's a hard one, actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
this feels like the...
I wouldn't go to the bathroom.
I would never go to the bathroom. I don't do that.
I don't ever go to the bathroom.
I've never bathroomed. It is more honest, and that's supposedly better for you, but that's gonna... With Mom not getting it really badly, I can't see that going well.
Yeah, it's like you'll feel bad for lying, but at the same time, it'll probably...
If you tell Mom that you're looking for more prestigious work, that should sate her, that should please her enough to, like, have a pleasant enough dinner. Because, like, all Mom is going...
Get off your nuts about stuff.
You for...
Not having ambition and being more like Malcolm.
It's like, Mom, you don't understand. I have an inflammation in my brain that makes it impossible for me to be motivated or enthusiastic about my life.
It's an inflammation?
I think there's new research that indicates that...
Well, it's disturbing.
What?
I don't know.
Like your brain too hot?
The difference between chemical deficiency and just like an inflammation is kind of jarring to me.
It's weird, because I wonder if that's why... There's been weird research where things like if you pop acetaminophen, like Tylenol,
Yeah.
apparently that helps with people who have like an existential crisis type of like habitual life and why are they on this planet and everything. Apparently Tylenol reduces that.
Dude just pops some Tylenol every few hours.
Yeah. That's the only antidepressant I need. Tylenol. Actually, no, that I think will eventually fuck up your liver.
No.
Yeah.
Everything will destroy you at some point. That's why you should only live in the woods and eat
Parasites on them.
Damn it.
I mean, like eating a wild potato is how the Into the Wild kid died.
Really? He ate just a bad wild potato?
Yeah, because he had been living out in the wild for so long. He had lost too much body fat. He couldn't really process this potato.
Bro, eat a chicken.
Yeah, and he died. And then Eddie Vedder did the soundtrack of his movie life. So, number 2, lie. Tell them what they want to hear, that you're actively looking for a more prestidigitation position.
We are lying to Mom. Here
Yes.
we go. To lie away. Oh, I'm asking for a raise soon, you mumble. I'm shopping around for a better position too. Jeez.
That I'm in good financial straits to find my next job.
Yeah.
And then I'll roll into that next job saying like, "What up, B? I'm getting paid way more."
Yeah, just be like, hey, can I have more money? All right, thanks for the more money. Now, fuck y'all, I found a better position.
I know a dude who does coding for a large team and stuff like that for them from his computer setup in the Netherlands. And so before he left, he was like, "Yeah, for a few months they're basically just going to be paying me to find a new job." I was like,
There's a I think it's a Hannibal Buress joke.
Dude.
It's like he likened it to like working at Subway and being like, "Yo, Subway, I want you to keep paying me, but I'm not gonna come to work, and instead I'm gonna canvas around the area, try to find a better job, and if I don't get that job, I'm gonna come back to this job."
"Yeah,
It's up. Oh, that's great, honey. They'd be crazy not to give it to you.
not crazy, Mom, depressed."
I just want every one of these to be... You hate lying to them, but you honestly feel like your parents don't even know you sometimes.
Every
They
time
keep on calling you a weird, different name.
Yeah.
Every time you see them.
they never call you by the same. You come away from it feeling like you can't get through to them, like you're speaking a different language. Trying to fight through that takes so much effort and never takes so much effort and never feels like it even works. And you just don't have the energy to try it right now. Even though you spend the rest of the remainder of the night. As you're leaving, Malcolm takes you aside and gives you a big hug. Don't let Mom get to you, okay? I love you, kiddo.
Oh, shit.
Dude, Malcolm...
Our support network, Malcolm stepped up to the plate.
Dude, Malcolm taking on extra responsibility, helping us out.
Malcolm's cool.
Malcolm is...
Any night, you're hurrying through the rain to Alex's apartment at her behest. Though your pace is quick, the rain is steadily soaking up your pant legs as you traverse the town, and it's darkening in the rain.
Ugh. Yeah.
Just get wet thighs.
If you're that soaked, it's just you're not gonna have a good day until you come home.
Jeans, because it's like they apparently once they shrink to fit your body, they actually have a really good look to them. But to really get them to fit you right, you have to just soak them in water and then walk.
Tried this once.
Were
Do you have some soaked fit jeans?
No, I mean I think I once tried to do that to jeans, but they weren't shrink to fit jeans specifically.
Copy that.
But yeah. But no, it's like you specific, and they dry to your proportions.
It sounds unpleasant and you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those pants are gonna get fucked up.
I mean, I think they're gonna have some wiggle room. What I'm saying is, it's like, this sounds interesting to me because it's like, holy shit, like, you know, pants that no matter what will look good and will fit me. But on the flip side, it's like, oh, doesn't sound fun at all.
I'm gonna hate this day.
Yeah. The afternoon trying to unwind and get some work on your project done. Yeah, we haven't talked about our project in a while.
What's our project?
Our project is like our side creative thing having to do with what we really want to do with our lives, but we haven't picked it up in a while.
Oh, dude, paper.
And not making progress, have a harder time making progress due to frustration, repeat loops that you haven't fully shaken off the feelings of being annoyed with yourself from it yet. You knock on her door, and on dripping rainwater all the way, you notice that the lights are turned down very low in the apartment. You squint to navigate it as you clutch onto your damp umbrella. You barely make out Alex emerging from the hallway, clad in what looks to be a robe with the bare skin of her legs peering out underneath. Are we in a noir movie?
Dude, all we need is like just a thick layer, just a curtain.
She asks in her designated, slightly cheesy, quote-unquote, sexy voice. After a beat of silence, she states more naturally, my roommates are out of town in specifically their bedroom.
In all of their bedrooms?
You appreciate her affection, but you're too wrapped up in your own negative feedback loops to be in the mood, right? Girlfriend.
2, try to unwind with her before getting physical.
3, suggest you do something else instead.
4, tell her you're not in the mood.
2 would be the most realistic answer as to what I think either of us would do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I hate to say it, but past a certain point, you are really shitty. Well, this, you know, at the very least, this is a way to, like, kind of jumpstart the brain and make it...
Now, maybe this is what I need to take my mind off the negative feedback loop. Let's see if I can ease into your wavelength here.
Yeah. Which sucks because it's like, past a certain point, you kind of question, are you just using your partner to
you in this scenario anyway? So it's like, if your drive went up and you were just like, yeah, I gotta be fucking all the time, like, then I would say, yeah, in your form-fitting jeans to have a night in on the town of her roommate's bedrooms. Like, so I don't know if you're using her as medic. I don't know. I think in this scenario it might be okay.
Yeah.
If this becomes a habit, then yeah. But
you ever like wonder? Yeah, well, let's roll 2. But just out of curiosity, have you ever been in that position where you're like, and have it just be an okay thing instead of like, you say, Your default.
Yeah, to have some kind of understanding where it's just like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it right now.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's.
I
There's
want.
no
I want
weird
to have.
insecurity.
Yeah, I want to have the experience of saying. I want to have the experience of not being in the mood, and just rolling with that and still be wrong.
Yeah. This must be devastating.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not in the mood. Oh my god, did somebody die?
Yeah. Dude,
Are you?
lit and notice there's a few candles scattered around the apartment.
Oh shit! Let's cause a fire.
Yeah, just haphazardly, just kind of laying.
They're tipped over, dripping wax everywhere.
It occurs of antisocial frustration in your stomach. Seeing how much she cares makes you want to try and melt it away so you can show her how much you care that she's gone through all this. You look amazing. Let's have a drink together, you suggest, hoping that this will give you the push you need to get into the mood. You go into the kitchen and pour. You sit down on the couch next to her, and she cuddles up to you instantly.
What should we toast to?
She asks as she takes her drink. You think for a moment, passing up the cheese tonight. The two of you cheers, and you ask her about her day. Conversation turns flirtatious, and the two of you find yourselves in the bedroom shortly after. You find that you're having trouble getting into things physically with her, and remember that Demeter hoped that you were a part of the population that wouldn't be affected by it, but it seems as though this was not the case. However, you're able to still enjoy the closeness with Alex.
Yeah, at the very least, that didn't just spiral you further into, oh god, my life sucks.
Yeah, and at least, as we can tell right now, she's not, upset about it.
Like, Alex is pretty patient.
She's Pete Chill. She's Pete Chill.
Thank God Alex is not like Mom.
Yeah, thank God that we did not marry our own mother yet. Alex.
It's an early winter evening, and even though it's not particularly late, the time of year has lent the sky an almost prematurely darkened cast.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. I hope we don't get seasonal effect and we come to hate. On this day, your job misery seems to have reached critical mass, and not even shedding your rain-laden and uncomfortable work clothes helps you to unwind from your work. It seemed to just be an unpleasant reality of existence. It was a position you sort of fell into unexpectedly, never intending to work there long term, and it's getting harder and harder to keep it up. You've always just sort of stuck it out of necessity before, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to do that. Though you couldn't even begin to imagine what else you could do, you find yourself face to face with a question you just can't ignore. Is your complacency worth the price? It's totally crossed out. Get proactive, polish off your resume, and start looking for other jobs to say.
It's on your project tonight.
Number 3, aimlessly look through classifieds for another job.
4, turn on the TV and let your mind go blank.
This is hard because none of these things could lead you down the road to feeling better. Like,
yeah, you're kind of sitting
the project could trap you back into the I'm trying to work on my project, but the progress.
Well, yeah, you'll start to you could start to feel like you're shitty and start piling things on yourself. It's like, I can never work on this. I never have time. My stupid job. Bleh.
Yeah. Number 3 is aimlessly look through the class. It's like then it's like oh, I'm so underqualified. I would never get this job. I don't have the credentials. I don't have the resume. And I just watching TV doing nothing. I'm a useless lump.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 3 could easily turn into 4 because 3, it seems like the best possible turnout in this circumstance for 3 is basically you just kind of peruse and go, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like even at best it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So.
I think the project is our best bet. It's in something we like to do.
Yeah. But it's, that's, at least from my own personal experience, it's hard, especially when you got something bugging at you because, your projects, then you feel guilty for working on your own thing when they're like.
Mm-hmm. And I looked at my own project, and my project started off as something that I did for school a while back that I wanted to revise and make good. Versions or notes and suggestions from my professor. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is so not where I would go with this now. Yeah. And then I saw the notes of suggestions for, pointing out things that didn't quite work and suggestions for how to move forward. And it actually got me thinking, oh my god, yeah, I'm totally on the same page as my professor was then. So I'm seeing these issues and I'm coming up with solutions, and it gave me an idea for how to fix some of it. So it's like it felt like very, I saw the file that had the notes on it, and I was like, oh my god, this is. I was on that cusp of, I could either look at this, and there could be something valuable in it in this early draft with these notes, or I could look at this and this could like send me into a downward spiral that makes me hate the project and not start doing anything on it. It actually turned out for the better. Like, I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, this is actually getting my gears turning again. I wrote some new notes and jotted down some new brainstorming stuff for it, and it was kind of, edifying.
Huh.
So,
Well, that's good.
let's see how this works for us. All right, kiddos, we got to take a brief break.
Potty, food, replenish.
Rebuild our psychological muster.
Maybe call Alex.
Maybe call Alex.
Yeah.
Maybe call Mom, except she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. But, Malcolm, maybe he'll know what to do.
All right, and we will see you in part 4 of Dankpression Quest.
Dankpression Quest, the quest for Curly's
Gold.
Quest for Curly's prescription paper for those medicines that would help to balance his mood out.